May I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. I hope everyone's having a good time out there. We're going to talk about all the markets, of course. We're going to talk about Richard Hart, LibertySwap, and Railgun, and of course they're ramping out LibertySwap version 2.0 apparently by the end of this week. So that could be this weekend. That'd be pretty cool. We're going to get into obviously some of the launches again as we're tracking those. So Rackham Rochelle's Coinwell. We got TruDeFi. And of course, we've got a few other launches expected to come as well. So as they develop, we'll talk more about those. We will check out Fast Abdul. He's got a little breakdown of the Edge protocol going to be launching a liquidity fork from Power City. So we're going to go through that as well. I think that's kind of interesting. And then we're going to finish off with some Christmas cheer as we're counting down 9 days or so to Christmas. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're also going to break down a little bit what's happening potentially with the markets in crypto, with the yen, what they call the yen trade. So we're going to talk about that too. We've got High Stakes Hex in the house there. Super. We are so close. I think so. Yeah, we're definitely getting close. What else we got going on there? We got Tanzanian in the house. So it's been a while. Woot woot. Super. Let's go. Winning. Hashtag winning. Like that. Good to see you. It's been a while. So welcome everybody. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Or if you're on X, hit the follow. That really helps a lot. As you guys know, we're rebuilding from scratch our X account. So you guys are helping us get back to where we were, and then we'll grow beyond that. That's the plan. We've got the link, of course, to the show. If you can share that around, just take a moment to hit the repost button. It really does help a lot. And it's a lot of fun. Let's bring more people in. That's all we can say. Now, the Monster Thread is out, of course, the hottest PulseChain's hottest weekly news. So that's out as well. So don't forget to go and check that. That's been out, I think it was put out, on Monday. So that's been out for about a day and a half. So definitely check out if you want to see all the hottest news. Check out MBS Crypto and the Monster Thread. And I think it's also, posted on my main thread there. I got a few posts they're going to repost today from there, from the Monster. So that's really cool. All right, without further ado, let's get into the stock market, see where we landed. Obviously, we've had a bit of a pullback recently, and let's get into some of the details. So let's check out. So S&P 500 slides on economic worries. Tesla hits a closing record. So look, I think Tesla's just going to be so valuable as this continue to go from value to value to value, despite the little pullbacks on the way. It's going to be pretty crazy. Anyway, we got Dow Jones at the moment is down 0.6%, so pretty decent pullback today. 300 points to 48,114 on the Dow Jones. S&P 500 is down 0.25%, 16 points to 6,800. And then we've got NASDAQ up a 1/5%, or almost a 0.25% actually, close to it. And that's 54 points to 23,111. So NASDAQ, all the tech companies, at least that was green today. US dollar, just down slightly, 97.86. So it's really, devalued a lot. It was about 108 when Trump came in. So it's down about 10 points to 98 there. The US dollar devalued there. Let's go to commodities. Obviously, West Texas has been coming down. We're at $55. And that was around about $78 when Trump came in. So it's down about $22, $23, which is just incredible. Trump has delivered huge, as Trump would say, hugely on that one. I can't do his accent, but that's pretty incredible. West Texas at $58.83 is also down slightly there. So pretty crazy. Gold, of course, has been on the up, and we're at $4,333. Probably not far from the all-time high. And silver, of course, has been the star of the show. Recently, that is all the way up there, $63.78. And of course, remember, guys, when we were talking about it being around $18, remember that? And it kept on going up to $27 and then get pushed down all the time. Remember that? And now it's at $63.77. Markets are pretty funny, pretty hilarious. Now, of course, there's a lot of speculation pushing this up, but there's also fundamental drivers as well. like military expansion with spend and how much silver and stuff is in a lot of the technology. So there is a lot of fundamentals there, but markets move it. Now we're expecting silver to go to into $75 to $125. And of course, if we do have the golden age of America next year and the year after, which it looks very, very good, despite the turmoil, the little bit of volatility we've had this year, at least the end of the year, is that that will continue. That will just continue on the commodities there in demand. All right, so let's scroll down here and have a little bit look at some other stuff. We've got unemployment rates jumped in November. So non-farm payrolls, payrolls rose 64,000 in November, topping expectations of 50,000 and above a loss of 105,000 jobs in October. So we did expect, remember, a little bit of a pickup at the last quarter this year as Trump's policies do play in. So that may very well be feeding to that. Of course, we had the government shutdown, reopening. But here we are with a much better than expected result. So that's kind of good too. Meanwhile, the jobless rate in November crept up to 4.6% compared to economists' estimates of 4.5%. It was the highest level for the reading in more than 4 years, underscoring recent worries about a slowdown in the US labor market. The data is not sufficient to signal a change in the balance of risks surrounding the labor market, Jeffrey said. If the January meeting were held today, the FOMC, that the Fed there would prefer to stand pat on the rate policy. However, we continue to expect that the additional easing and inflation pressures in 2026 will allow further reductions towards neutral over time. So I think the market's pricing in like 2 rate cuts. I think the Fed's pricing in 1 rate cut for next year. But I think feeling pretty good about us getting at least 2 rate cuts next year. And if inflation continues to fall, maybe even 3 might get repriced, right? These prints come days before the CPI data. I mean, we had the CPE data, was it? Yeah, and now we've got CPI data coming out for November, which will be closely scrutinized by markets as well. So labor strength and inflation are the Federal Reserve's 2 main considerations for cutting interest rates, with the central bank having flagged a data-driven approach to further easing. Of course, they haven't done a very good job. So there we go. That's kind of where we are at the moment. Elsewhere, US retail sales were unexpectedly flat in October, following a downwardly revised 0.1% gain in September. Let's see if Christmas sales pick up. So yeah, markets are also focused on who will become the next Fed chair. Obviously, Trump getting a chance to replace Jerome Powell, who's been pretty bad at the job, with reports stating US President Donald Trump had narrowed his shortlist for Jerome Powell's successor to former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh and National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett. And of course, Kevin Hassett was the one I was trying to think of the other day. And so, yeah, Kevin Hassett there, he's fantastic. So it'd be very good hands with him. So that's kind of where we are right now. Obviously Tesla, don't talk too much about stocks, but may do that a bit more in the future. Tesla there, Elon Musk confirmed the EV maker had been testing robo-taxis without safety monitors in the front passenger seat. So robo-taxis coming, guys. It just feels like all the movies that have been made over the last couple of decades are all coming true, right? That's kind of where we are with a lot of stuff. Now, another big product that Elon Musk expected to launch is the airplane, right? So airplane, he says it's going to blow minds. He says it's a big jump on anything we've seen out there so far, and he thinks it could be the biggest product launch of all time. So that's coming up as well. We'll see what that is. I guess it's going to be electric, and yeah, it could be an absolute game changer. I was watching some of the airplane vehicles in China with using propellers and stuff, and it's just like it's still. I know like people get excited about all the propellers and all that, and the drones and all that, but it's still a little bit primitive. I don't know. I just find propellers quite primitive. We were looking for some sort of anti-gravity almost type of things, but electric would be a good step forward. There. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. We also saw some ex-NASA scientists propose a new warp drive, although it doesn't really look like the maths works out, but it looks like they're fudging around with the physics. They're kind of making their own physics and then building off that. So I was really hoping we'd get a warp drive. A warp drive would be really Star Trek-y, wouldn't it? But I don't know. I think they're still quite a far away from that. So. If you're wondering what warp drive means, it just means warping space, right? Warping space, Einstein's field equations and all that. So if you want a deep dive, go for it. Have we got Brennan in the house there? Howdy, Superman and family. Good to see you, Brennan. Welcome to the chat there, our TA guru from the Discord. All right, so that is pretty much it around the stock market today. So the tech's kind of held up, really, but the bellwether ones are not so much today. All right, let's jump away to the crypto markets. Crypto markets were definitely retracing, as we know, the last couple of days, but they made a little bit of a bounce today, so that's kind of positive. So look at the crypto majors. So total market cap at the moment is up 1.1%. So green day, guys. So look, maybe with that, maybe the bleeding out a little bit has finished. We're at 3.07 trillion at the moment, and of course this is for Tuesday's results. So we're still in the beginning, first half of the week, let's say. Bitcoin at the moment is at $87,742, and then we've got that is up 1.6%. So Bitcoin's up. Hopefully it's stopped the bleeding out there. We've got Ethereum there is down 0.5% at 2,950, just below the 3,000 mark, which is a little bit annoying there. We've got what else there? We've got BNB. Number 4 is up 1.9%. It's $872. XRP. Number 5 is up 1.6%, $1.93. And we got Solana at number 7 at 1.4% at $128. We got Tron up 0.7% at 28 cents, and then Doge at number 10 at 1.8% at 13.2 cents. So those are the majors at the moment. The best performer is BNB at 1.9%, followed not too far behind. Actually, sorry, Doge. Doge is the best performer. No, BNB is the best performer, but followed slightly behind by Doge at 1.8%. There we go. Got it out finally. What else? Best performer over the last week is Tron. Yeah, Tron is only down 0.8% for the week. So those are our top 10. Our top 100. Midnight up 34%. Meme Core there up 22%. Mantle up 14%. Monero up 12%, and Sky up 9%. Those are our top 5 in the top 100. Looks like Midnight has just come into the top 100. It's not too familiar there, so it's probably in the was above that. So a new entrant, and it's taking number 1 spot there at the moment. I wonder what that is all about, actually. Should we have a little nosy? Have a little nosy, see what that is about, that one. Midnight record significant losses. It's not really telling us much. Midnight is a new generation of blockchain. Okay, developed by Charles Hoskinson. Okay, I probably should be watching a lot more of his shows, to be honest. I probably would know that. The co-founder of Ethereum and founder of Cardano, that uses zero knowledge proof technology to offer utility without compromising data protection or ownership, enabling applications and that safeguard user commercial transaction data and metadata. I wonder if that's regulatorily compliant. That's the Midnight Protocol combines the use of ZK proofs based. So that kind of, I don't know, how much does that taint the old ProofX? That's the question mark. A whole blockchain based on it. So that is out at the moment. That's pretty interesting, right? So let's have a look at that chart, Max. How long has it been around? It's been around for a while, yeah. Oh no, it just launched. Only launched about a week ago. My goodness. So that is Midnight there. What's the market cap? 1.4 billion already. So there we go. That was well worth checking out, wasn't it? Well worth checking out. So top gainers in top 1,000, Smart Dex, Noon Mine Token, and Lux Coin there. So it's, we've got Smart Dex. Have a quick look at that. It's up 227%. How long has it been around for? Been around since March 2023, so quite a few years, but it's just having a big bounce at the moment. Look at that, from 2,300 for the penny to 7,600 the penny, 3/4 cent. So 1/4 penny to 3/4 penny. Although you're not printing pennies anymore in the United States, you're not printing pennies. Well, they stopped printing them was a couple of months back, wasn't it? 2 months ago. The last penny was printed, wasn't that right? Valiant says Elon's flying car is priced around 7,000. If a YouTube short I saw is to be believed. Yeah. The problem with YouTube, have you noticed it really? Obviously, with the big problem we've been having lately with any video platform, to be honest, with all these AI videos, a lot of them are just crap, right? They're just crap nonsense, and they're probably being made, weird, in certain countries. But the other thing is that there's so much lies in so many videos. Oh my god! Like sometimes I go look for serious topics, and it's just I watch the video and I go, oh, there's so many lies that's planted in this video. So, and they're fooling a lot of people, right? That don't know any better. What I would say is that you need to keep, if you got some good books from back in the day, you need to keep some paper books because apparently a lot of the digital stuff's just been corrupted, which is a sad thing. But it is what it is. Yeah, if you're watching any video, my encouragement to you is to be rather critical. Keep that critical mind in play because it is an issue. It is an issue. AI is ruining things on YouTube. Yeah. Hey, look, I don't actually enjoy. I enjoy some of like little marketing videos where you make cool little things out of it. That's kind of neat, but I don't like it for a lot of comedy and other things like that because it's all lies, right? It's all lies, like elephant fighting a lion, and it's just all made up and it looks weird and all sorts of other weird things. There's lots of things like that. That's really crazy. Anyway, so that is that. Let's move on. Let's move on. So let's get into the Bitcoin price a bit more. So here is the monthly price on Bitcoin, and we're at the boat. I haven't got the chart up, but I think we're at the bottom of the rainbow at the moment, rainbow chart, and we're at 87,700. But we are sitting really pretty for a 2026 takeoff. So it is kind of cool. Now, if we had the liquidation event on the 10th of October, that's taken about 8 weeks. We're now coming into Christmas. We really haven't got our Christmas rally, of course. And then we've also had this yen carry trade issue where people, basically the idea is where people can borrow cheaply on the Japanese market and then go invest and buy USA assets. But as the Japanese interest rates rise up, it can often flip. And that's kind of a big play. So typically big money's playing that game, but that's kind of could be seeing what's happening at the moment as well. I did see some commentary on that. Valiant says need more advanced AI detection apps. Yeah, absolutely. All right. And so yeah, here we are, 87,722. We've got the 50-month average currently at 63,880 on the old Bitcoin. It's kind of chilling where we are at the moment. Let's see if we can look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart there. We've obviously still got a nice golden cross here on the weekly that's playing out, so that's kind of cool. On the daily, let's see the daily there. Oh, daily's up here. Daily, yeah, we're still playing out this death cross on the daily, so we're waiting for that to revert. We are in a kind of consolidation zone. I mean, if you look at that, between 85,000 and 93,000, we're kind of in that sort of channel at the moment. We've got a kind of a bit of a supported channel. The question is, are we going to go up to the right? And of course, I hold that view that we are. But maybe we're not going to get this Christmas rally now. Hopefully, even if we don't get Christmas rally, that we actually get to the top end would be quite nice. Getting ready for January, February, and that's kind of where, because of these specific events with the liquidation event, etc., that we might see the recovery in January, February, which is what Tom Lee and Raoul Paul hold. Also, that could have consequence if we do get an all-time high in that period, particularly January, that we might see. In particular, Bitcoin new all-time high, then we could see the end of the 4-year cycle. That's kind of the argument there. So we're going to find out soon enough. But let's see if we can get a few more days. We've got a few more days up our sleeve, potentially get a little bit higher on the price for a little Christmas rise. That would be kind of it, but certainly doesn't look very promising at the moment for a big move. But you guys know crypto, man. We can have big moves in a day. We know that most of the big moves happen in 10, 20 days. So we'll see. Certainly consolidating in this zone at the moment. Now moving to Ethereum. Ethereum's got even, I think, a more promising story at the moment, and because we really haven't, been too high in Ethereum. So the last there, we've got the monthly price, monthly here. So we've got a lot of room to move, right? A lot of room to move, and here we are at 2,953 right now. The monthly average, 50 monthly average, is at 2,500. That's giving us good support. We've sort of been above that a few times. We're at 2,953 at the moment. Let's go to the weekly. Now, the superiority that I think, if Bitcoin has a store of value and a lot of corporates picking it up for their balance sheet and risk management, while it's Ethereum is the one that's going to benefit from the stable coin boom with the Genius Act, which is probably going to really start taking full effect into probably beginning of the second quarter next year, perhaps, we're going to have to keep a track on the regulation side of things. As I said yesterday, it's really the act sort of says January 2027 or the earliest of the date of regulations being developed, which is I think about 6 months. So that might bring us into first, second quarter. I'll try and get more analysis on that, but that's basically the idea. And so therefore the boom would happen there. And that, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, talking about $4 trillion of stablecoins by 2030. We know we've also already getting a few little moves there around tokenization, which is the other big theme, right? And the SEC is talking about that being within 2 years having a dramatic adoption from TradeFi, NASDAQ, and etc. Tokenizing, corporate shares and financial products like money market. And of course, we saw that the other day with JP Morgan onto Ethereum and Solana. Solana seems to be like the secondary chain that people are looking at the moment. So that's all positive. We're going to watch that play out over the next 2 years. At the same time that, of course, the golden age of America is going to play out with all the investment that Trump set up this year, which will benefit in the next 2 years. So that's kind of the play. All right. So that's kind of where we are right now at the moment on the weekly. We've still got the golden cross on the daily, probably more of significance at the moment. We've still got that death cross playing out as well. So we are both death cross on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. But once again, we've kind of got a channel sort of setting up here, and we're still looking pretty good at 29.55. It'd be nice to be over 3,000, but we've still got a slight uptrend in this zone as well. And hopefully that will just fade out, and we'll end up going into January, February, not between Christmas and the 10th, but after the 10th of January, really having a takeoff, and hopefully we'll get a little bit higher here before Christmas, right? So that's kind of the place, about 8-9 days to go for that. So we've still got enough room. There's enough room for a little bit of a baby Christmas rally. So we'll see how we get on. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now. And one of the big key analysts we talk about was obviously the stablecoin boom, the tokenization boom on Ethereum because of the smart contract domination and liquidity pools and also battle tested, right? Battle tested, and of course PulseChain's a complete fork of Ethereum, so it's battle tested too. Is the strategic ETH reserves, right? Accumulating, actually active buyers accumulating, but the dominant one, of course, is Bitmine Immersion from Tom Lee. And even though we've seen not so much buying from all these other strategic reserves which talk the big talk, like we're talking about ETH Machine and ETHZilla, BTC, BTS, XFG Nexus, talking about huge potential purchases. We're talking $20 billion. We've only really seen Bitmine Immersion be consistent, and that is going to win. That's going to win the day for them. They must be laughing themselves silly. Anyway, the latest declaration on the 12th. Was 102,300 Ethereum was bought up, and so that's fantastic. $300 million worth. And we know that they had about $1 billion and $850 billion, and I don't know what they're sitting on at the moment. Maybe 600. Sorry, what did I say? $1 million. I meant. So that's huge. That's huge. So they've still got plenty of buying power and moving forward. Now, that being said, I think the BMNR price is down again, and of course that's probably reflecting the weakness of Ethereum. So keep a pick if you're looking to pick up some BMNR. Maybe you look for that true weakness, and if we do get a bit of flattening out, it might be a good pick up there, especially if you've got maybe directed 401k or something. Definitely worth considering there. And you might get a bit of a lift in the MNAV after that, right? It's all going to be very fast. You guys know it happens very fast, the re-rate. Take note. Anyway, they are now at 3,970,000 Ethereum. Isn't that fantastic? So Tom Lee living the vision there and doing great stuff. We've got a few other comments in the chat there. We've got SMO in the house there. Good to see a spider. And we got Wookie says, Wookie has moved fast to be here. Nice one, Wookie. Appreciate that. He's talking about on the golf course. Probably good point, Superman. ETH looks to be in a good spot to climb against BTC soon. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, so we've got that's sitting almost at 4 million. You guys know they want to get 5% of the supply, which is 6 million coins approximately. And they're now 66% the way there. So there we go. Basically 2/3 the way. And they've still got to buy just over 2 million more coins. So that's a lot of buying power to come in as well. And they did taper off a little bit strategically, and then they started ramping up again. And you can see that here They dominate all the recent buys. Look at that. Bitmine emission, the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th, every week, 5th, the 12th. Tom Lee is a professional. He's a master of the moves, and he's leading the way. And, of course, all these other ones that are talking about getting big positions, all sitting in behind, watching Tom Lee do the magic there, and it's going to pay off big time, I'm sure. So that's pretty cool on that one, on the old strategic ETH reserves. And that's pretty much our crypto majors cover. So not too bad today, actually. Looks like the bleeding stopped for the time being. And let's see if we can get a little, still got about a week or so to go for Christmas. And let's see if we can get that little mini Christmas. We'll call it a mini Christmas rally. That's what we're looking for now, with a big move in after the 10th of January into this February as well. We shall see. That's a Tom Lee and the Raoul Paul perspective now. They are the bulls, right? They're the bulls. Now, you can always look at bear perspectives, which is perfectly fine. Plenty of those around at the moment. But I'm feeling pretty bullish about where everything's heading, despite the short-term retraces. And the retraces can be healthy for the next move, right? The big banana moves coming up in the future. It's going to be awesome. What else? And don't forget the 10th of January is also when the Pruvec sacrifice finishes, and we'll see. So, we know that Richard likes the 10,000 mark, right? He dropped that in this video. I don't know whether he intended to do that or not, but that was pretty telling. $10,000 ETH seems pretty good to him, which may mean that you might see some capital redeployment. And where would it go? Well, presumably into PulseChain. So that's kind of the play. All right, let's go here. Let's move on into PulseChain and talk about all the things that are happening there. How's PulseChain faring? Well, obviously the Band-Aid was ripped off, as Richard Hart would say. The Band-Aid was ripped off, as well and truly was. The sentiment of the community got even lower than it was before, and we saw some people, selling, and we saw some people moving assets that were just sitting idle, and we saw stuff going over the bridge, stuff directly being sacrificed into the Pruvec sacrifice. That is pretty much Pruvec sacrifice. Pretty much is stagnant now. It's pretty much stuck where it is. There's very little money going in every day. We're talking about that a few $1,000s, and so that's just going to play out all the way through to the 10th of January. And of course, we're expecting those last 5 days to get some action from potentially Richard Hart in the OA, which might end up being, I don't know. We can recalculate, but maybe depending on your percentages, could be $85 million that goes in there. We'll see. It just depends on what percentage you think that he wants to dominate. I think 87% is kind of a good number, but could it be higher? Could be 93 or something. We'll see. Now, where am I going? One more thing to do. I'll just maybe pull this up first. And let's go to the PulseChain results for day 900. Is it 949? Oh my goodness, it is 949. Let's get to it. All right, so day 949. Pulse at the moment, quadruple 017, down 2.9%. We're at 17% of the mean sacrifice price. PulseX, quadruple 0133, down 5.6%. We're at 13.3% of the mean sacrifice price. And the buy and burn has actually crept up a little bit today. We're now at 8.28% on all those low volume days that we've had recently. We've gone up just a little bit finally. Ink token at the moment, 64 cents, down 4%. And then we've got PHEX or EHEX there. Sorry, PHEX or HEX on PulseChain. Guess this, guys. It's below 0.3 of a penny. We're at 0.0298, which is pretty crazy, down 3.3%. We've got EHEX even down further from yesterday. We've got 3 zeros, 95. So it is pretty crazy price. EHEX and PHEX combined, 39/100th of a penny. What a bargain right now for the old HEX. That is even better than ever. So DCAing at the bottom here is a beautiful thing. Cheers. We've got MG announced. Good to see MG. It's pretty crazy, right? That is pretty crazy. Yeah, that was a good comment there, Valiant, again. All right, so let's see where we're going there. So yeah, just the rip the Band-Aid off is just giving a really good price range for believers in the chain. Yeah, it's almost a no-brainer at this point. Gas prices, we've got 220,000 beats, pretty much what we normally expect to see these days. 1/10 of a penny for a PulseX swap. Validators right now, let's see. What happened there? Validators, calling validators, 52,663. That's just slowly creeping up, isn't it? Just creeping up a little bit on the old valid numbers, maybe in the tens increase. The bridge, let's have a look at the bridge. So we got 78.8 million at the moment. Obviously, EHEX is pulling us down, guys. It's at 9.8 million. We dropped below 10 million yesterday, wasn't it? And so yeah, that's kind of where we are. We have been we lost some ETH and DAI over the last month, and of course USD Tether, but we gained USDC. So USDC has been the big lifesaver there in terms of offsets. But let's have a look. We had a month ago on the 16th of November. We're here on the 17th, so we'll just call it a month, right? A month in between friends. We were at 85.9 million a month ago. We're at 78.8 million now. So what's that? $7 million. We're basically let's call it $6.9 million lower than we were a month ago. $6.9 million. Now, what's contributing to that? Well, we had 6,300 ETH. We got just below 6,000 ETH now. We had 18.7 million DAI. We got 17.2 million now. So that's down, 1.5 million. USDC was 15.4. We're now at 16.4. So we're up $1 million on the USDC, and that's probably due to maybe some of the things like some mini meal, although they're leaving, right? Losers. So we got what else? We got the ramp, the on bridges, ramp now, probably LibertySwap all playing into that USDC kind of thing there. Obviously Pacific whales, right, that are moving capital. But USD Tether was 5.3. We're at 4.8, so we're down about $500,000. We've seen recently a big move down in USD Tether, right? So not sure what the Prevex amount was, but that's definitely the case. What's the other big move we saw just the other day, only a couple of days ago? We saw wrap Bitcoin. We were sitting at 24 wrap Bitcoin. It went down to 23, and then a couple of days ago, we saw 3 wrap Bitcoin disappear over the bridge, and now we're down at 20 wrap Bitcoin. Wow. So we've lost, just based on excluding prices, just absolute value, we're down from 2.3 million in Bitcoin to 1.8. So we're down $500,000 there as well. So that is some real stuff. So ETH was down, DAI was down, wrapped USD Tether was down, Bitcoin was down. The only thing that was up significantly was USDC, I should say, and that was $1 million. So there we go. That is it at the moment. So that's 6.9 million overall over the last month. Breaking it down here on the Crypto Night Show. There we go. All right, so that is stablecoins. The positive news, though, of course, we're about to have a boom in liquidity forks and stablecoins. So we've got 3 liquidity forks coming up, and we've potentially got possibly some other stablecoin mechanisms. Obviously, the big one that I'm looking forward to is the algorithmic stablecoin, BUSD Algo, but that may not, at the earliest, in my view, maybe like March next year. It will depend. It could be earlier. If the Signal Oracle is early January, if ETH does rally in January, then we could possibly see it earlier. That would be pretty cool if we could see it in February, but let's just say March for the time being as a pencil that in, and we'll see. And of course, that would give us 3 coins to tick off the stablecoin trilemma. And of course, particularly issues around scalability. Now, when I say scalability, I'm saying relative to the TVL, the capital flows, liquidity pools and stuff on PulseChain. We would need some pretty big marketing, some pretty big capital flows in PulseChain to really make that a major lift. And I'm thinking, even a fraction of the size of Terra Luna, for example. You need, obviously, had all this centralized exchanges and all its institutions and everything else that were backing that. But definitely it could be pretty good, nevertheless, pretty good contributor to the chain. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Right, what do we got at the moment? We've got PulseGuy. At the moment, so we've got 5.7 million in volume, so it's still in this low $4 to $6 million volume range. It's a weekday, so not very great. 345,000 transactions at the moment. Top mover today on the trending top 100 for 24 hours is PulseGuy. Just the PulseGuy there, tied into the Peacock as well, right? That's up 28%, so not too bad. Let's have a quick look at that one. It's been around for 4 months. And let's have a look at that chart. So that's the weekly chart there. Still at the bottom of the range, but it's up today. So not doing too bad there. Liquidity pretty small, relatively speaking, 20K on the main pair. Market cap 153. So just a nice little retail play there, but seems to be ticking along at the bottom of that range. Reserve Tay there is up 25% as well versus Treasury Bill and Pulse. We can have a look at the Treasury Bill one there with the FD. And I don't know why it's bringing up all the transaction hashes. Must have things set up wrong on here. But we're just at the bottom of that too. At the bottom of that too. But it's just tinkering. It is up today though, on the old Reserve Day. The Sacrifice Project one there, the one that was backed by B-Roots and Ian Einish, that's up 17% at the moment. I'm not really a big endorser of this one, of course, but that's ticking away there. They do make a little bit. They've got very low volume, 3K. I think they've got a 5 or 6% tax on it. And that's still feeding a little bit for the previous sacrifice there, but they're still way down, right? They're way down. What page would it be on? Page 4 or 5 or something? I don't know, somewhere in there. Let's have a look. I think they were around 70k, was it, when the first major stuff? They'd be just topping that up a little bit, somewhere in that ballpark. All right, so the other one that's been moving is Bria. Bria is up 11%, and of course Bria should benefit from Coinwell coming up from Rack and Michelle, and CoinMafia presumably is still on the board with the Battle of the Memes. And then we've got CoinMafia, of course, about to launch soon. CoinMafia is a launching site, so may not have anything related to Bria, but certainly positive for it. And so this has already started rallying, just slightly ahead of that. Now, still liquidity still small, 28k on the main pair, 300,000 market caps. Are still early days on this. 10k volume right now. But the interesting thing about this, we'll go to the weekly on this so you can see the weekly chart. You can see a pop in there, and that is the pulse ratio, right? So the pulse ratio, and I should be looking at more of these, but the pulse ratio there is up quite nicely. In fact, it's gone up from yesterday. I remember yesterday it was sitting at about 15.5, now 17.6. So it's slowly creeping up ahead of some of these launches. So not doing too bad. Now the community needs to really open up. Joshua Rui needs to get in there and kick some pants. But kick some pants. But that is where it is at the moment, 17.65. And Grumpy over there is doing a great job. He's really a role model for that community. But hey, look, the protocols are coming, and this should do well on the back of that. I could say more about this, but if you want to learn more, get in the Strategy Club today. Strategy Club links in the video description on YouTube. Just over $1 a day to join up. And if you want to get on X, then just scroll up to the top there, and there's a link at the bottom of the profile, and it will take you through to the Whoop store. So we look forward to seeing you there. Look forward to seeing you there in Strategy Club today. All right, we've got MG in house there. Cheers. And of course, Utah Crypto in house. Only us solid bulls left. Wag me. G'day, wag me. All right. That's true, Crypto Utah. And if you haven't checked out Crypto Utah, go check him out. He's been doing some great shows lately on the Diamond. Isn't it the Diamond? I think it's the Diamond, isn't it, Crypto Utah? Put it in the chat. I think it's Diamond. Don't know if you think you guys are doing pretty well with that project from the looks of it. Superman is always grinding, indeed. Every day. Well, unless, every so often I'll take a day off or something happens. Anyway, we're at 17.65 at the moment on that. Bria making a bit of a move. These are moving on what's a rather quiet day. We've got DWY or Dunamis. That has been around for 12 days, up 8%. We've got PDC the Greys. They've been doing some good work during the bear market time. They bought new dashboards for the performance monitor. Pure Banana's been out doing some big 120x videos and doing some good stuff. So they're working hard, and they got into the monster thread this week. So a big shout out to them. And keep up the good work there. Right, so we've got Love.io from Mr. Anderson, up 3% right now, and we haven't seen much from them. They've got the Luffy.com store that brings a little bit of capital into PulseChain from sales, but we're going to do big networks and with influencers and all that sort of stuff. We haven't seen that yet, and I mention it from time to time because we're hopeful. Every project adds to value to the PulseChain, right? So everyone, you want them all to succeed because they all add value to the PulseChain and the general community, right? Crypto Utah says diamonds. Yeah, diamonds. Is that what I said? Did I say diamonds? I can't remember what I said, but I think it was diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, but Crypto Utah knew that already. We got Ron Smith in the house there. Reposted the stream. Have a big shout out. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, if you guys are just coming in right now, we're still 38 minutes on the hour, so we've still got quite a bit of time to go. And yes, smash out the repost there. That's the link there on X. Really does help a lot. All right. Now, typically I'm streaming at the moment between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern, sometime in that window. I was doing more of a fixed spot, but I've got a few things on at the moment. That will probably be the case for the next few weeks at least. So this means I need a bit more flexibility about when I stream. All right. Well, not scream, but stream. Scream is a good movie, though. Scream is a good movie. All right. So you've got UFO there up slightly about 1%. A couple others up about 1%. Teddy Bear, SCADA from Nuclear Supply. We've got Vouch in here. I'm really excited about Vouch, actually. I haven't talked enough about Vouch. We're probably going to deep dive into a bit more, but that's looking pretty good. And then that's the number one validator, right, on PulseChain. Also got attacks. We've got Unity there at the moment, is sitting at 8.3 cents after it was holding quite a bit for 10 cents. Let's have a look at that versus PulseX. And that's the chart right now on the daily chart there. So this down chart was expected. So there's no, I saw someone, I think an influencer commenting about that, but I don't think they had read the tokenomics because that was expected. But it's bounced at the moment, sitting at 8.3 cents. And we're expecting a few more things there from cryptographics. So yeah, we've got to get him back on the show actually and talk about that. He's got to give us some. He's got to give us some secret sauce. Come on, cryptographics. you know what you're talking about. All right, so that's going to be at the moment. We got some other stuff happening there. So we got 20 coins at the moment on the trending top 100 that are pretty much green or higher, and that's pretty much it. So let's have a look at some of the other ones. Saw Sun Minimal. They had a great day yesterday. It's a bit flat at the moment, but that did pretty well. Look at the chart, not bad. Went from 3.5 cents to 6 cents. But they're moving to Solana, right? Because of the floin and the EU markets, their regulations, they think that moving from PulseChain to Solana is the better mix there, and that's kind of what they're doing. So the markets have been pumping on that, but they're sitting on a huge amount of money that would pump, and like we're talking about probably 10, 15 million, maybe higher, sitting in their buy and burn that could have gone into PulseChain. It's a bit of a sad thing. It's going to go to Solana. Solana's going to get the benefit of that. That sucks. It really does, because that was huge. And potentially with the Floin listing, there's something like I think 17,000 clients at Floin. They're all high value worth European investors, and they also connected into investment firms and institutions. That was PulseChain's a channel to those markets in Europe, and looks like we're going to be missing them out because they're apparently moving over to Solana. So haven't finished watching the video, but that's kind of the main jits of it. So anyway, you can invest in Sol, and you can basically jump over to the Solana and enjoy that benefit potentially. So there we go. Still opportunity regardless of the chain. All right, so that's kind of the play on that one. What do we get up to here? We got up to some email. What happened? It all moved around. There it is there, Sol. Yeah. Let's scroll down a bit further down here, have a look, pick off a few others. They're down at the moment. Everything's pretty much down, isn't it, for the most part? Let's have a look down. Let's scrolling down, see what the biggest opportunities are. P Tiger with the old crypto tiger god there, down 6.5%. Doing some crazy videos lately with guns, and things like that. But the guys like that, right? The guys like the guns. Peacock, for funny enough, is down today about almost 9.5%, and that is sitting. It broke the 1 cent mark. Is sitting at 96/100th of a penny. So it's down today. What else? Pepe is down 14%. So they made a little bit of a move the other day. It's still at the bottom of the range, isn't it? The old Pepe. So Pepe there at 00037 right now. 00037. Valiant says the bird is on a dip. Good time for feeding. It is indeed. Good time to pick it up. It is a store of value type of coin, right? So that is when you get a bit of a turn of events, that thing will run pretty hard. The other thing, it has been holding up pretty well, I think, on the most part. So why does it keep doing this? Why do I keep pulling up the trading thing? I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure I didn't have it up that high before, so I'm not sure why the settings gone a bit weird. So that is the chart there on the bird, on the old Peacock. So just a couple of counts today just sold that down. It's not a big number of counts. That's just the way it is. 347K in liquidity, but I think they got about 700 to 750K liquidity overall. Definitely one of the bigger peers, and down 9.7% today. Let's look at the ratio to Pulse, and that's sitting at 568. So it's still range bound, right? It's at the bottom of the range, but still range bound there. So if you look at you might look at the US dollar one, but that's of course rated to Pulse, right? But if you look at the Pulse ratio, then it can often be looking better. So this looks more just in a consolidation range. So not too bad. We just had a couple of people sell down today from the looks of it, and then that's it. All right, let's move on into the updates, eh? So that's the markets, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that coverage every day. Well, virtually every day, isn't it? Every day, yeah. I think so. All right. So that brings us into Richard Hart, the man, the myth, and the legend. Today he made a few updates, and 7 hours ago he put this out. I persist, he says. Everything else, not so much. all of existence is at his feet. All right, so I persist everything. Everyone else, not so much. There we go. All right. Still in the trenches, says LibertySwap. Still surviving, still pushing forward. Indeed, they are. Indeed, they are. In time, everything is revealed. Thank you for your persistence. Dave Feder, we were here before them and we'll be here after they're long gone. And Nick Hillman there, I'm persisting, going live daily with Crypto Paradise. And PulseChain is mentioned and discussed in nearly every broadcast. How about that? There we go. So lots of people in there, also persisting. All right, so that was from him. Now, where'd the other one go? We've got some other updates, though. 7 hours ago. A lesson in cry-fagging. Can you imagine how cool it would be if Hex or PulseChain were listed on the homepage of Ethereum's homepage? It'd be cool, but they're not. So let's look at hex.com and click the second link in the menu, links, and look at the second front end link, Hex Scout, it says. So you'd think that would be cool, right? Nope, that website says it's not enough. Over and over again, people come and people go. All kinds of stat sites came and went, wallets came and went, everyone with their own particular kind of cry-fagging. But you know what never went anywhere at all? Me. He did it. Richard did it. Over and over again, I've learned that when you bleed awareness to others, it's only a matter of time till they peace out, and usually with some max extraction and some insults. So over the years, you just have to keep publishing that you must have no expectations over others, and you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Anyway, drama aside, anyone can do anything let me rephrase it. At least re-say that, I should say. Anyway, drama aside, anyone can do anything, but like if you've been featured as the number 2 front end on the core website forever, really there's no space to be insulting on the way out, lol, says there. So talking about the hex.com, was it the Hex Scout, I should say. Now, Hex Scout Hex Scout did the publication piece, right? The open letter to Richard Hart. That's kind of like, Hex Scout, I don't think they're going anywhere, but anyway, that was probably in response to that open letter. Also, as I read it, they're just discontinuing the DApp. Maybe they have other features people like that aren't the DApp. Or you can feel free to chime in. Deprecating a feature would be rather dramaless, but for the personal insults towards me, lol. So I think that may be for the open letter that it's talking about there. Hunter Bailey says, appreciate hearing from you a few times a week. Morale is down when you go dark. The funny part is that's when I'm getting the most work done there. So that is from Richard. So Richard is working, no expectations. Crypto Coffee says, I really like PulseChainStats.com. It's great and no data collection. LibertySwap responded saying, keep your mission and your goal clear and keep fighting to survive the market until the mission becomes reality. Every time the market gives you a chance to trade, remember the hard times and prepare for them. You must always be ready. Hard times return again and again in the crypto industry. They never last forever, and neither do the good times. So, getting a little bit of cheerleading going on. We've got Mr. Anders from Love.io as well. Yes, my shooting getting better and better while the bear market is in. So there we go. We've got lots of people coming out of the woodwork for that. All right, so let's scroll back up here. We got another one here 4 hours ago. Prices are down. In fact, before we read this, we've got some comments. So let's go to that first. We've got some comments. We've got Hexavator in house there. Hey, again, good to see Hexavator. Welcome. Hi, Hexavator, says Wookie. RH is a funny founder. He is indeed valiant. He is indeed. Hey, Wookie from Hexavator. There we go. Got lots of friends in the chat there. Now, these guys have been around for years. So these guys are all diamond hands. So all the guys in the chat, all been around for years, all diamond hands. Who's been streaming through bull market and bear market? Yours truly, Superman, Kid Night Show, and of course, formerly Hex.com, rebranded so that I could cover more of PulseChain, more of crypto, and including, of course, Hex. And it's been good times. So we're around as well. All right, so kind of cool. Now let's get into this message. Prices ever going down at all from any level make people angry. In economics, it's called the ratchet effect. People are okay with pay or profit going up or not down. Upon this emotional impetus, everyone runs the program they're used to running. Complainers complain, rage quitters rage, the sad get sad, the infight is infight, and the indomitable world, I guess it's the one, work harder. Everyone just runs the program they're used to running across all different parts of their life. The trick is you have to see the reality underneath the feels. Most of the cry-fagging in crypto is really just the price is down, but with a lot of extra insulting words. Depending on what program they use to flapping their lips or in the style of blah, 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 blah. Okay, man. So, like, you just mean prices down, yeah? ETH was 5K in 2021. It's 3K now, 4 years later. I keep my eye on the ball instead of crying like a beep. And, of course, beep mode, crying, don't do nothing except increase your ice cream bill. So there we go. That is there right now. All right. So yeah, lots of people in there at the moment coming in and showing support there. All the committed people at the moment. So that's kind of the play on that one. That was Richard. So Richard came out with a few things there about cry-fagging. I think that thing was, because Hex got to do an open letter, which is fine. I think open editors are constructive, but I don't know. Maybe there's a few words in there that Richard didn't like, presuming that's what he's responding to. What else? We got Hex Creator in house says, did I hear you say you're going into the strategy chat to go over Bria? Yeah, people want to find out the next level stuff around Bria, then they can jump into Strategy Club and get into that and chat about that. Just over $1 a day, join up to that for the next level of insights. Valiant in there with the diamond hands. I like that one, Valiant. That was pretty nice. I understood exactly what you said there. All right, sign language. All right, so the next one there, let's move on from Richard Hart, the founder of PulseChain and Hex, and we'll move on into LibertySwap. LibertySwap, of course, actually, delivering a lot of the vision stuff that Richard's talked about for many years. Obviously, privacy being a big one, bridging as well. It's been a huge asset. And of course, LibertySwap there says this is exactly what we do, exactly why we work and release Liberty Swap V2. This is 19 hours ago. Hold and grow for years, Peacock to $10. Now, they put out Peacock to $1, $10, right? And we all know it's just a bit of aspiration, bit of fun. Now, Peacock might go pretty high, but there's a lot of work to do that happen. We need to turn in the sentiment in the market, etc. There's lots of variables that go into that, but they are building, and they're certainly contributing it with the fees from their business going into the Peacock, right? Either liquidity, buying and burning, treasury, etc. So, it's kind of cool. 7 hours ago, Peacock is not a hype trade. It's a store of value play on PulseChain, built by believers, not VCs. Survived the bear markets, not VCs. Survived the bear markets, not just pumps. Held with patience, not rented for momentum. When liquidity returns and attention shifts back to fundamentals, store of value tokens are the last ones to stand. So, that's true. All right. So, once we get a bit of a turn on PulseChain, all the leverage players like Peacock will really, really, really hard. Privacy is essential. People are getting used to Railgun and LibertySwap to protect their trades and to stay out of financial surveillance from unfriendly eyes. And just like that, no one, not even LibertySwap, can know where your ETH is going. Someone put one ETH went through on PulseChain to Railgun, and it got completed. So it's a good example there. I don't know if they've got any replies to that, but yeah, pretty cool. So now Railgun is operating pretty nicely. We know they're working very hard for version 2. Which is expected this week, probably the end of the week is what we can reasonably expect. And that will could have a number of upgrades there, maybe multi-chain upgrades, new coins like stablecoin offerings, potentially Tornado Cash hooking. That's all sort of stuff I think we're kind of waiting for. We're currently working on a UI update, so this menu is not functional yet. It looks like we've got a little sneak peek of it too. Some of the part of the upgrade. All transactions are processed instantly on chain. You can verify status directly on the blockchain explorer. Funds are typically delivered within less than 1 minute. We've got preparing, verifying, sign, broadcasting complete. Kind of cool, like that. See if they've got any other little blues clues in the chat there. Next week, we'll enable direct instant swaps from Railgun shielded balance to PulseChain assets via Batias. So that is the big one. Yeah, I forgot about that one. I talked about those other potentiality upgrades, but the big one is Batias API. So what this means is that people can use Railgun and then start swapping, buying and selling coins. And this was really cool. Not only will this help the retail book do privacy buys and sells on the chain, but also the big whales. And that's what we're excited about. Right, that's the big stuff there. So kind of cool. Very cool insight there. I don't know if they've got any more in there, but yeah, that's it. All right, so Batias is coming, guys. Batias, privacy, buying and selling. All the big players will love that. yeah, so cool. Let's scroll up from there. Yeah, we'll scroll up from there. That's all right. We don't need to read that one. If this has got any interesting. LibertySwap fixing issues. What else there? So 8 hours ago. Good morning, friends. 9 days to Christmas countdown. And there must be a whole ton of these LibertySwap statue girls. They're all looking different. 7 hours ago, every DApp and crypto team has to find a way to survive the market. No one can save us if we don't find real product market fit and sustainable way to earn revenue. And this is what LibertySwap's doing, is ramping up their revenue potential. Obviously, we're on low volumes recently, so that's makes the volumes a little lower. But as that reverses, we get bridge reversal and trading reversal. That's it's going to be a real boom in revenue, and therefore lots more capital to buy Peacock with, arguably, or push the liquidity up, etc. Kind of cool. I've got a couple of examples of how Railgun works with the privacy. We're going to jump through those. We read through that, didn't we? We read through that. The privacy features we originally planned have shifted direction. We are now making Railgun the primary infrastructure and building everything around it. This section of the document will be rewritten and expanded in detail as we prepare for LibertySwap version 2 and the 2026 roadmap. Single-use wallet addresses will remain a core feature in our plan to be developed through 2026. So it's kind of cool. How do we make it easy to understand for users? This pivot started back in August when we decided to build on Railgun's technology and infrastructure. It was the right decision and strong move. We are seeing real traction now, so we want to expand this approach instead of continuing with the two older privacy methods, which are more costly and far less effective than Railgun. So there we go. Railgun, really the foundation of their product suites in development. It's kind of cool. So nice little insights there. It's like squeezing a lemon for all the juice there. Hexscout has rage quit. Did they? I don't know. Insulting the founder and announcing their shutdown. Oh, I had not seen that, so we're going to have to go and look at that, guys, because I haven't looked at that. My front end has run for 4.4 years. It's Hex-centric, yeah. So we've got to watch the Hexscout thing. And our Hexscout, as you guys know, all year had been working with bridges coming on, Hyperlane, and all that sort of stuff. So we'll go check out Hexscout. I hadn't seen that. Privacy UI and UI wins or dies. People do not need a lecture, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So we've got some cool stuff there. I'm going to jump away from that. Don't need to read that one. Crypto Coffee has done a video about Railgun, so you should check that out if you want to do that. I'll have a look at that later. I might repost that too. So that's pretty much it for the update. So we're expecting LibertySwap V2 coming up probably next week now, from the looks of it, and rather than this weekend, so probably next week, and it's going to have Batias hooked in, so that's huge. That's huge. Buying and selling, privacy. Come on, that's a big deal. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's go quickly look at the Hexscout before we get into the other projects, because they must have just announced something that overnight, because I was sleeping, right? So I can't see it instantly. Let's see. 9 hours ago, yeah. So this is I was asleep. Right? I was asleep when I did this. We are discontinuing operation of the Hexscout DApp. Transfer to interest third parties may be possible in principle. So Hexscout DApp, of course, one of the best DApps for interacting with Hex. Koza's one of them. The other good one, obviously, I think the official Hex one's still around, isn't it? So yeah, we got a lot of links in the Discord for that. So I'll have to go through and check that. This decision is not related to current market conditions or price performance. It's based solely on the absence of substantive and strategic alignment with the current ecosystem management and resulting lack of sufficient orientation for continued involvement. Richard Hart. So there we go, tagging Richard Hart on that one. Feedback and proposals regarding structure and operational development of the ecosystem were submitted repeatedly in substandard form. No material consideration followed. Under these circumstances, we see no basis for continued support. Now, look, I can sympathize with a lot of the stuff they're talking about, and I love the framework. But at the end of the day, Richard's going to do his thing, right? That's kind of the end of the thing. You get my point? Theirs might be a lot more structured and methodological approach, perhaps, and with some really cool things. But maybe Richard's got his own. Basically, he likes these things basic. He's going to do a couple of those things, and that's it. So you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. It is what it is. Feedback and proposals regarding the structural and operational development of the ecosystem are submitted repeatedly and in substantive form. The withdrawal of a significant altruistic contributor may be interpreted as an indicator that the current development path is not sustainable in the key areas. Where this leads to meaningful adjustment or further development remains to be seen. Should a clear and structural professional direction emerge, the future provides renewed orientation, reliable perspective for committed supporters. We expressly reserve the right to reassess our involvement. We thank all users of the Hex Scout DAO and all those who supported our efforts. Our withdrawal should not be understood as a rejection of the ecosystem as a whole, but as a consequence of the current conditions. Green God candles may have already be sufficient for many, but they're not what motivated our work. Temporary God candles, in fact, quite only a single actor. If the foundation is primarily based on this dynamic, the cost will be recurring outcomes that ultimately mean one thing above all else: evaporated exit liquidity. May this serve in the end as a learning experience for all of us who are holders and who placed our trust in Rich Hart, and may the ecosystem ultimately emerge strengthened in a sustainable way. So, I mean, that seems fine to me. But obviously, it looks like Richard's taken some aversion to that. All right, so that is what it is. And big thanks to HexCut. They've done an amazing job on the old PulseChain, and ultimately they have to make their own decision. But they have really made some major contributions. And really contributions. That's really getting tongue-tied here at the moment. All right, so can't say that is what it is. It's kind of the play. All right, so let's jump over into the upcoming projects at the moment. So we've got obviously looking for CoinMafia to come up. Now this has been, I think, really done a great job of ramping up towards launch in this. Doing lots of cool little videos and stuff, and of course Mr. Wu is out there doing his videos and targeting influencers, etc., across the board. And so CoinMafia is dropping. So 12 hours ago, we got this little video. CoinMafia will drop alpha from time to time here in the official CoinMafia Telegram channel. So obviously, if you're after some of the secret sauce, you have to get into the Telegram. Very, very clever there. And that is out and about. What else we got here? 11 hours ago, as founder of CoinMafia, I will not allocate myself founder tokens. So making a declarative statement there. I will not allocate myself founder tokens. Any position I will be acquired on the open market under the same terms as every other participant there. So I guess back to fair launch principles there in some ways. So that is big news from Rackham. So I'll keep a try on there. You'll have to get in the Telegram if you want to get the alpha drops. But that is launching soon, and we're excited about it. It should be really, really good. Could be quite large too. Multi-chain too, remember? All right, so the next one that's coming up, of course, is TruDeFi. And we did an interview with the team about a week ago. They've also been in the Monster thread. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check out. They've got a lot of breakdown in the Monster threads. But they've got the date launching 19th of December. That is at 0 UTC time. True2x will launch. Now, the idea of this, of course, is achieving a 2x in your Pulse bags through the auction the first day, and then getting shares, and then going into with the shares, I guess, setting up miners to get a 2x in Pulse. The secret source, of course, is the system miners that will also be there, not earning a return, and of course the partner miners as well. And 40% of the Pulse that goes into the system will be used to go into some of these top tier, I guess, projects on PulseChain, things like Vouch and Emmet and things like that. Apparently, they've had 20 projects contact them about participating. So we'll see which ones make it into the strategic miners. And so there'll be retail miners, system miners, and partner miners, all part of the miners there. And of course, the idea of getting the retail miners a 2x in Pulse in a pretty short space of time. So we'll keep looking out for that. So that's coming from them. Check out the overview that I did. I will be doing another interview with them coming up when the launch happens, I guess. So 19th of December, I should be able to do that. A simple promise: double your Pulse, no platform tokens. So this is going to be on PulseChain, but the projects could be on any chain. It could be fun to watch. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. Now, obviously, with any of these projects, always do your own investment due diligence. Nothing's financial advice. I've covered literally thousands of projects on the crypto. So just to take note of that. All right. So that is TruDeFi coming up on the 19th. Now, the date for CoinMafia is close. This is close. Very imminent, perhaps. Should be before Christmas. So we might have both of these launching around the same time, as my guess. but no formal date yet, as far as I know, for CoinMafia. I'll check Telegram today, just like all of you might, but that's kind of where we are right now. Yeah. All right. So the next one, of course, we heard about was Fast Abdul dropped some alpha around the Edge project from Power City before Power City did, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. This is a strategy post, he says. So Edge is coming. Edge is an ETH-backed protocol, borrowing protocol, basically liquidity fork from the looks of it. Go long ETH without selling it. So this is a nice idea, actually, because it may sink a bit more ETH or draw in a bit more ETH, and that could be really positive. And of course, issue a new stablecoin, EUSD, right? EUSD is going to be a new stablecoin there. So go long on ETH without selling it. Define risk boundaries using collateral ratios. Unlock liquidity without giving up upside. Earn yield on ETH through protocol mechanics. Here's how it works. So Edge is a liquidity fork. You lock ETH or wrapped ETH in a vault and mint EUSD stablecoin against it. Key points: you do not sell ETH. You can reclaim your ETH by replaying the EUSD. That's how you stay long ETH while unlocking liquidity. Risk management: your collateral ratio defines your risk boundary. You choose how conservative or aggressive you want to be, how much buffer you keep above liquidity. Earning yield while staying long on ETH after minting EUSD. You can use the stability pool and staking to turn your protocol mechanics into yield. Here's how the full loop: deposit ETH, mint EUSD, stake EUSD, single-sided stated, earn ETH from liquidations and free Edge tokens, stake Edge tokens to earn ETH and EUSD, compound rewards or reduce risk. We pay EUSD when ready with your original ETH. Your ETH exposure never changed. It was temporarily collateralized. Functionally, this behaves similar to single-sided ETH exposure with yield, but without LP risk and without selling ETH. Do your own research, of course, before using that. So lots of other things in there, but that's the basic idea of how it works. So that is up there right now, and it's got the links there. So doing a bit of promotional work there for the Power City team. All right, so that is coming up too. I'm not sure the launch date yet on that, but that will be soon enough. So yeah, just trying to see if he's got any launch date written down here. I don't see a date anywhere, but it sounds like it's almost ready. There we go. It's almost ready there, so that is cool. All right, I don't think there's anything else on that. Always looking for launch links dates. Always read the comments because you always get the extra info. Sometimes the comments can have extra info that's way more important than the main post, which is the funny part. We've got Most Army in the house there. The Yoink bot is actually cool, says Most Army. Yeah, I don't think we've covered that at all. Have we, Most Army, on that one? All right, so let's jump away. So that is that happening. Let's get into the PruvX sacrifice. We've got 23 minutes and 52. We've actually rolled over the day. Sorry, 8 minutes ago we rolled over the day. Sounds like I need a drink, don't I? Getting a bit parched. But we'd got the day just ticked over. So the results for day 35 finished. We're on day 36. So day 35, it was $2.34, let's say, rounded for 10,000 points. We're on day 36 now. It's gone to $2.48, guys. That's almost $2.50. $2.50, yeah. And so that's day 36. We really haven't had much change, right? So 16.3 million, 300 billion, 20 billion. That's just rolled up from 319 to 320. So it's just gone up there from the looks of it. I'm pretty sure. And we're at 13,774 sacrifices. So the sacrifices do creep up a little bit. Sometimes maybe 100 or 200 or something, but they're all kind of little tiny little sacrifice top ups or this or that. No change, of course, to the top one because they've stopped taking in sacrifices, and everything else looks pretty normal there. Yeah, all the way to 150. So not look like much change there. If we go to the page, going to page 2, sometimes it falls over updating. We've got 11.8 million on Ethereum, 3.7 million on PulseChain, so not really much change there. BSC looks like it's just crept over 180, but apart from that, that's kind of the totals at the moment for day 35. So we're on day 36 now. Let's go to actually PulseChain and see what actually is in there. Now, obviously, we had a lot of PulseChain stuff route through the bridge and go through Ethereum's side of things. But do we ever break down that? USDC, I don't know if that's USDC. Yeah, almost $1.2 million was USDC, which is funny. That's the one that we've got more of over the last month. Remember, $1 million more. DAI 1.5 million. So that's where some of our DAI's gone. Well, most of our DAI's gone, is it? Most of our DAI's from the bridge analysis we did earlier. Wrapped ETH 244. Well, that explains most of our 300 ETH. About 320 ETH, so that's it's about 60 missing net. I mean, these are net figures, of course. USD Tether, we lost some of that too. It's $250,000. Wrapped Bitcoin is only a little bit of wrapped Bitcoin in there, 0.07, so that's not explaining anything. If we go to Ethereum though, let's see what Ethereum has. Yeah, wrapped Bitcoin on there. 0.07, so it doesn't look like it's there either. So looks like the Bitcoin just disappeared, gone somewhere else. So that is that's the results there for day 35. Day 36, hardly anything's going in anymore, of course, since that whale did it way back here. I can't remember what day that was, but that was maybe 6-7 days ago, was it? So yeah, we're just marching up. This will go all the way through to the 4th of January. It'll be $7.40 by the time we get there for 10,000 points, and the volume ranking bonus will end on that day, on the 5th. And then we got 5 days left in stage 3, where it's 0.7% flat fee. And by the time we get up to there, there'll be no volume bonus, but the base rate will be $10 for 10,000 points. So pretty expensive, 10 times more than back here. And when you're taking the volume multiplier, even worse, right? So what's that, 30 times? I don't know. That's 35, I don't know, something like that. So yeah, and we finish on the 10th of January, guys. The 10th of January we finish. And that's perfect timing, because that's when we think things are going to really ramp up with the new view of the of Tom Lee and Raoul Paul. So we'll keep a look out for that. So that is Perfect Sacrifice. How we're doing for time now in 10 minutes, doing pretty well. Let's jump over to the Christmas cheer just to finish the show off. So big shout out to Kairos out there, of course, the founder of Emmett and Conji and many other sort of dApps or farms. And 9 days to Christmas, this was 13 hours ago. St. Richard Heart tightens the reins. The sleigh is warmed and ready. Candles glow green. Cookies stay guarded. Pulsemas, I like that. Pulsemas momentum builds. The list is still alive. So that is from St. Richard of PulseChain. Now, the law of St. Richard grows stronger each day as we march towards Christmas. He brings cookies for the faithful, the nice list. Now, if you jump into the Telegram group with my link, you will just go ask Kairos and you'll get put on the nice list automatically. So it's well worth doing. Let me just get the link here and you can join up today. So let's see. Let's pull that link up. I'm going to have to find my link. Where's my link? So I think it's get link. Hopefully it works. Get link. All right, let's get link. Get link. All right, so there's the link. Got the link. So you can join up today with that. You post it in here on the chat there, so you can join St. Richard Heart. Just tell Kairos that I sent you and Superman sent you, and you can get yourself automatically on the nice list and get airdrops, which is kind of cool. And if you want to get more points, more airdrops, just be engaged there and enjoy the Christmas fun for the 9 days ahead. That's pretty much it. So that is the link there to join up today. I'll also post it in the live show, there as well. You can join up. And bam, there we are. That points that. Join up today. Join Xmas fun and airdrops. All right, that is bam. There it is. All right, looking good. Thanks for what, crypto? Informative show. Nice. All right, so daily countdown to Christmas with new law and daily giveaways and community events. St. Richard Heart's arcade coming soon. Well, that's actually out. We've already got 3 arcade games out, so needs to update that. A growing community that shows up every day with a pure holiday spirit. SRH token is trading course is more than a meme token. It's Christmas PulseChain seasonal tradition taking shape in real time. Festive art, surprise airdrops, and an amazing community carrying the Pulsemas energy forward. Now, there is a quite active community in there, so it's well worth getting in there. There's all the links as well. So that is from the St. Richard Heart. I think that was it for the update, was it? I think that was. Let me go back out. So that was the latest posts. Yeah, that was the latest one there. So there we are, 9 days to Christmas, almost 8 days. We're almost at 8 days. And that is the end of the show. That's the end of the show. So we're up to now in 40 minutes, which is pretty good. We did a great job getting through. I probably should have had a drink while I was doing the show, but hey, that's the way it is. Hey, Superman and everyone at Sandy Beach coming in at the end of the live stream. Second day in a row there, Sandy. coming in at the end. But it's better that she's here than not, right? That's what we always say. Sandy Beach, of course, one of our moderators and one of the big female influencers on PulseChain. So big shout out there, Sandy. Living the dream. Living the dream. What else we got here? I think that's it. All right, lots of love there from SMO Spider. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, guys. We covered a lot of stuff. We covered Richard Hart, covered LibertySwap, covered CoinMafia, covered TruDeFi. We've got Edge launching soon. From the looks at maybe January, who knows? But we'll keep updated with that. To all the teams that are building, we salute you. Keep up the good work. Build out some nice TVL projects. Build up the value of PulseChain. Let's get ready to rock in 2026. And maybe in the next week, we might even have a little run. We should say. We'll call it a mini Christmas run at the moment and see how we get on. All right, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. If you want to join Strategy Club, links in the video description. Just over $1 a day to join up, $35 a month. So great value there, constant intel, and you get to ask me heaps of questions about stuff, and we help people out, which is kind of cool. Doing a lot of that at the moment in the chats, so get on board. Now, we're not just talking about PulseChain. We talk about new chains like X1 and other stuff coming up as well. So lots of other opportunities in crypto too. Always good to have a balanced and diversified portfolio, but with the good stuff in it. All right, take care, everybody. Catch you tomorrow, and keep DCAing for the win. That's all we can say. Bye for now.